Discover new music and to revel in the more familiar with no rules on genre, form, or novelty. Learn more about the origins of songs, the lives of the musicians that made them, and a wide array of interesting facts in general. It's freeform radio at its finest. Hear what you rarely hear anywhere else here on Radio Free Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday on KSJE.
.52 Monday morning here on KSJE. It is time for our weekly segment about technology, our Monday Reboot segment. That's when I'm joined by Lewis Campbell from Cintigy Computer Systems here in Farmington to talk technology with me, and there he is. Lewis, good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Doing all right, I think. Thank you for being with us, of course. And gosh, there's been big news out of the cryptocurrency area, right? One of the exchanges, I guess, has collapsed. Gone bankrupt, something, right?
Yeah, this has actually been a huge story in the last week. It's destroyed the value of cryptocurrency. So there's this huge exchange called FTX. It was run by a guy named Sam Bankman-Fried. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that name wrong because I've never heard it pronounced. I only see it in print. And he was one of these darling billionaires that everybody loved, and of course he was huge on the political scene, donated a lot of money to the Democratic Party, and as early as just a few weeks ago, various publications were calling him the Warren Buffett of crypto exchange. Well, it turns out that he had two companies, FTX and this company called Alameda Trading, and he was lending Alameda Trading, millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars that were actually crypto funds that were in his exchange that were investments from other people.
Whoops.
And that whole thing kind of collapsed. And so now the FTX exchange has collapsed. And the value of cryptocurrency has just gone down into the tubes. So this has been a big deal in that world.
Right. And so that exchange that he was involved with, I guess, has gotten bought out by another maybe competitor or partner or something, right? And so it's still there, but just in a different form, I suppose, right?
Yes, it's there, but I think even the folks that bought it out now are like, oh, what are we going to do?
Right.
They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, but now they're being investigated. They're largely based in the Bahamas. Now they're being investigated in the Bahamas. Sam Bankman-Fried is being investigated. Like I said, this is a big deal.
Gotcha. Well, and some allegations of last-minute transactions, I think, too, and what have you.
Yeah.
And so I guess it goes back to the whole buyer beware kind of thing, or investor beware, right? When we're talking about these crypto markets and folks that were trying to get rich quick, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think it's more than just crypto markets. I think we're seeing a lot of things in crypto and a lot of other technology-based kinds of investments, and even beyond technology is people don't really they make decisions based on admiring a person. I don't know how else to put it. Like, everybody thought Sam Bankman-Fried was this incredible person, so they kind of invested in his company or bought cryptocurrency on his exchange or whatever. And I think we're seeing more and more that these individuals that we kind of idolize, if we make decisions based on them, I'm going to invest in Amazon because I think Jeff Bezos is great, or I'm going to invest in Tesla because I think that, what's his name is great. Maybe they are, but that's not the right reason to make an investment, right? You make an investment based on your due diligence. And if you can't do the due diligence, don't make it. I mean, that's the way I think about it.
Right. Understood. Interesting. And speaking of that other guy, Elon Musk is still in the news with Twitter and some of its issues, I guess, that are going on. The latest story I think I saw was that he laid off more people or fired more people from the Twitter ranks, and so it's just not going smoothly for Mr. Musk.
Yes, and he did fire a number of people. Also, though, he had to backpedal on the blue check mark, the blue check mark deal. Originally he's like, okay, we're just gonna let people have a blue check mark for what, $7.99 or something, and then what happened immediately is tons of people bought blue check marks and, impersonated other people, including him. We talked about this last week, but it got worse. And then, since last week, he backpedaled and said, "Okay, we're not going to do this anymore." And they stopped issuing there's two kinds of things. There was the bot blue check mark, and then there was the certification from Twitter itself. But they stopped issuing the bot blue check mark. It looks like they're going to bring that back at some point, but they stopped issuing that. And there's just been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of um, news from inside the company, a lot of articles about, people being expected to work, 80 hours a week, and just, back and forth about that. It just, it's chaos over there, it seems like right now.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like it's good. Good activity for a successful business, which is, I think, is what Mr. Musk wanted to do, is to stop Twitter from hemorrhaging money, and now a lot of advertisers are kind of pausing their spending. They're not canceling necessarily, but they're pausing, which isn't good for cash flow. And this whole $8 a month deal is on hold or canceled. So
yeah, for Wall
not
Street,
good.
pausing is the same thing as canceling. They don't care.
Right.
And it's not just. We talked about this last week too. It's not just Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg
Yep.
just posted on November 9th that he's going to lay off 11,000 people at Meta, which is, what Facebook is now, right? So that's a big deal. There's a lot of other companies we talked about last week that are letting people out, letting people go, but this is going to affect the tech industry, and as we've seen with the crypto exchanges, things are going to go down.
Right.
You know.
Interesting. Well, and I think maybe a lot of folks are thinking about this as similar to the .com bust that we dealt with back in the, I don't know, when was that, 2000, right? A lot of companies
Yep.
kind of disappeared with all the investment that had been done. This may be happening in the new tech bubble, I guess, if we're in a bubble that's bursting.
I don't know. I don't know if it's. Hopefully, it's not going to affect the economy overall as much as the dot com bubble or the real estate bubble did, but we'll have to see.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see what happens. We'll check on you next week, though. We are out of time. Thank you, Lewis.
Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
All right, you too. Thank you. That's Lewis Campbell. He is with me every Monday from Cintigy Computer Systems, part of our Monday Reboot segment right here on KSJE Farmington.